Okay, the time is now 5:01 p.m. I call this meeting of the Granbury Independent School District to order. Let the record show that a quorum of board members is present and that this meeting has been duly called and that notice of this meeting has been posted in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code, Chapter 551. We will now begin with our first item on the agenda, and that is to canvass the results of the November 4th, 2025 Board of Trustees election for places 5, 6, and 7. Dr. Morosky.
Yeah, thank you. And thank you all for being here. I know this is an exciting night. We will have our regularly scheduled 6 o'clock start time with the pledges and invocation. So we're going straight into the business right now. And we are going to begin with the canvass. And I recommend to the board to certify the election for school board trustee places 5, 6, and 7. The summary of the election results from Hood, Johnson, Parker, and Somerville counties are presented. In place 5, we have Calvin Lawrence, who received 6,885 votes. Monica Brown received 5,574 votes. Place 6, David Rogers received 5,468 votes, and Barbara Townsend received 7,068 votes. For place 7, Jessica Wark received 5,700 votes, and Stuart Neal received 6,681 votes.
I certify that the vote totals presented correspond with the totals on the returns from each county, and further certify that the vote totals include early voting and election day totals received under Section 87.1231 of the Texas Election Code. Do I have a motion to canvass the results?
Madam President, I move that we accept the official results as presented.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
That's a motion by Ms. Alana and a second by Mr. Moore. Any discussion? Okay, hearing none, all in favor, raise your hand. Let the record show that is 4 in favor, 1 absent, being Barbara Townsend. Any against? And Billy Wimberly. Any against? Are you're just abstaining? Okay, so 1 abstaining, it's Ms. Karen Lowry. And then we have 2 absent, Barbara Townsend and Billy Wimberly. The motion passes. I now declare Dr. Calvin Lawrence duly elected to trustee place 5, Barbara Townsend duly elected as trustee place 6, and Stuart Neal duly elected as trustee place 7.
Okay. Sorry, go ahead.
Yep, we will now recognize outgoing trustee Karen Lowry and Billy Wimberly.
Yes, and I believe on our screen, we're getting an image up to celebrate our outgoing board members. We were able to celebrate Billy. He's not able to be here tonight. He is out hunting, so if you see him, give him a hard time. But we were able to celebrate him at an event last week. So tonight, we are going to celebrate Karen Lowry. So we honor Karen Lowry for her 3 years of service on the Granbury ISD Board of Trustees. Serving on a school board requires commitment, preparation, and a steady focus on what is best for our district. I heard her say many times that serving was a calling, and she approached her role with that sense of purpose. We appreciate the time she dedicated to Granbury ISD and are proud to recognize her service to our Pirate family. Thank you, and we wish you well. And I think you have a couple words to say, and then we've got maybe some pictures at the front with a plaque.
Yes, a couple words. My hope for GISD is that through the leadership of Dr. Morosky, with the help of her admin staff, teachers and parents, and her new board, is that the GISD will become the district the state looks to and will say, how'd they do that? I pray for GISD as I told Dr. Morosky the first time I met her, I want to see GISD be the best school district in the state. I hope GISD will be inclusive of the community. We have many retired educators of all levels, federal and local law enforcement, doctors, dentists, chefs, people with business experience, all with the knowledge and expertise in their field who could give a deeper understanding and excitement to the students. As Dr. Seuss said, oh, the places we'll go. Okay, I want to leave you all with these words, and these are the words that I started with 3 years ago. These are the words of Jesus, Matthew 18, 6 and 7. Whoever causes one of these little ones who believe in me to sin, it would be better for him if a millstone were hung around his neck and he were drowned in the depth of the sea. Woe to the world because of offenses, for offenses must come. But woe to that man by whom the offenses come. I had a few more things to say, but I will put that online for everybody to read tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Lowry.
We've got some things. You mind coming down so we can hand you a plaque? So we are giving this plaque to those of you who are in the audience. It was created by our staff and students here, and it is presented to Karen Lowry. Thank you for your service as the board trustee for Granbury ISD. And then I was the vote, so developing that off. Okay. And then we also have a one of our coins that we hand out to targeting GISD and a little stand. And then a little
Thank you.
You want to get him up? No. Oh, okay.
You want to get your picture with me?
Permission to.
You may. Yeah, one at a time. Do one at a time.
All right, at this time, I would like to invite Dr. Calvin Lawrence to join us up at the dais.
Raise your hand. Repeat after me.
Yes, ma'am.
Your name.
I, Calvin Lawrence, do solemnly swear that I will execute fully the duties of this office of Granbury ISD School Board Trustee of the state of Texas, and will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States and of this state. So help me God. Thank you. Yes.
Family up here? Yeah.
You're welcome.
And now I would like to invite Stuart Neal.
I, Stuart Neal, do solemnly swear that I will faithfully execute the duties of the office of Granbury ISD School Board Trustee of the state of Texas, and will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States and of this state. So help me God.
Thank you.
We can Photoshop her in. She'll be in.
And Barbara will be next. We'll have to do another one with Barbara.
We're just gonna get a picture. She's had from New Zealand. She's all in.
We'll Photoshop it. Yeah. Oh, it's just being nice. Come on.
Next on the agenda is to reorganize the Board of Trustees, but we're going to move this into closed session and discuss, and then we'll vote on this when we come back out from closed session under consider action and items discussed in closed section, item 14A. So at this time, we are going to convene into closed session under personnel to deliberate the appointment, employment, evaluation, reassignment duties, discipline, or dismissal of a public officer or employee. Security devices and security audits to deliberate the development or specific occasions for implementation of security personnel devices or security audit, and consultation with attorney if needed. The time is now 5:14 p.m. I'll reconvene into open session. The time is now 6 p.m. and we will begin with an invocation led by myself. Please join me in prayer and bow your heads. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for bringing us in service to our students, staff, and community. Grant us wisdom in our decisions, clarity in our discussions, and unity in our purpose. Help us lead with integrity, compassion, and a heart for every child we serve. May our work tonight and throughout the year honor you and strengthen the future of our schools. May we always remember first and foremost to love others and that we be a people that never rations love. In Jesus' name, amen. And now we will have the pledges led by STEAM Academy at Mambrino.
This is Randy McVeigh. She is over our STEAM ambassadors, so she's going to introduce them to you before we start.
Good evening. We're going to start down here on the end. This is Brooke, Rory, Vicky, Holden, Arabella, Lauren, and Trisha. And then Kennedy is going to lead us in our pledges.
Please join me for the pledges. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
Just right here? Okay, you want me to sit back down? Okay.
Hey, you have to go stand with Nancy if you're not doing it all.
Perfect. All right. Good evening, Dr. Morawski, school board and community. Thank you for allowing us to share our incredible school with you. It was so much fun having you guys on campus with us this past week and getting to share a little bit of it in real time, and tonight getting to highlight even a few more things that maybe you didn't see. I'm Melissa Shipp. I'm the principal at the STEAM Academy. These are my two assistant principals, and they're going to help me tonight. This is Molly Wisenhunt and Jessica Johnson, and they're going to help lead a few of the slides and the information. One change from your board book is I added some stars on a couple of slides. You'll see them up here. Those are the ones that we're going to hit that are special to us. But of course, you can ask questions about anything on there, but just to honor your time tonight. Okay?
All righty, good evening, board. So the first slide we have here, it talks about our Mambrino mission statement. This was a redo of a previous mission statement that we had kind of long and drawn out, so we wanted to condense it. And so we picked out, along with the staff, 3 words that encompass and embody what the leaders of Mambrino, what we try to do with our faculty, staff, and students. That's collaborate, educate, and inspire. So this motto reflects who we are as leaders, and that we are growing and we want to show excellence every day. So these are not just 3 words. It's a promise and a reminder to our staff, to our students, that we exemplify in our hallways, in the classroom, and in our community. Who is Mambrino? So our student enrollment is 830 students. Our economically disadvantaged population is 46%. We have a very high special education population of 25.6%. The numbers of teachers and staff, close to 100, just 1 minus there. So maybe we might reach that for the 26-27 school year. We do have Mambrino students that are STEAM transfers that come from other elementary schools across the community. And we have housed one of the largest special education programming there at Mambrino for the 3 life skills classrooms, the 3 structured learning classrooms, the 1 low incident classroom, 2 structured learning support classrooms, and 3 resource inclusion classrooms. Oh, It's still me. Sorry. All right. So, what makes STEAM? This is the 7th year that STEAM has been in existence here at Mambrino. And so, kind of what really makes us kind of stand out is the fact, again, that we have the STEAM transfers that come over from the various campuses, and they are bused from their home campus close to like 6 o'clock in the morning, 6:15 in the morning, over to Mambrino. We have a variety of different activities that our students also take care of and what they do there in their classrooms. We are, goodness gracious, one of the curriculums that we use is Project Lead the Way, that encompasses a kind of inquiry design approach to how we achieve and how we go about with our classroom and science inquiry. So that's inquiry design, where we ask, explore, and we also, ask, explore, and then we re-explain, and then we try to find a solution to those problems that we have throughout the content areas.
All right. And as you all know, in our district, we are a Capturing Kids' Hearts district. And so that is a very big part of Mambrino, and something that we take a lot of pride in how our staff has come together and really embraced that program. And it's really just shaping and changing the campus culture and how our students view relationships with staff, but also relationships amongst each other. And so some things to highlight with that is this past year was our first year as a Capturing Kids' Hearts campus, and we were awarded the Rising Star School Award for all of the hard work that our staff has done to truly embrace that. It is a group effort in order to do that and to just make it part of who we are. And that's not possible if our staff didn't, fully get behind the program and really invest in where we were as a campus and where we want to go next. And so our Process Champions group as well is a group that we lean on to help us continue for that, because we're working for our next distinguishment with them. So our next recognition. So with Capturing Kids' Hearts as well, a big thing that has helped our campus is the common school-wide language, meaning, our expectations within the hallway are attention getters. It's not every classroom has their own. They can maybe use a couple like within their own room that work. But as a campus, our students know that we use the timeout signal when we need student attention. So we say, give me a timeout in 3, 2, 1. And it's silent, hands are up, eyes are on the speaker, and that's been a game changer as far as when we have assemblies or lunchroom, things like that, as you can imagine. So we've worked hard at having that common school-wide language when it comes to capturing kids' hearts and the things that we're doing with that and inside and outside the classroom. And then with our student leadership, each classroom has an ambassador for their classroom, and that is a student. Some rotate and share that leadership role, but the students, it's so funny because and so like endearing, because they take ownership of their room and their learning family. And so when you come into the room and you're a guest, it's like, there's a guest. And, the students are like, oh, you're the ambassador, you have to go over. And they will introduce themselves, they'll welcome you to the classroom, and then talk about the class social contract. We have social contracts all over the building within the classrooms as a campus, as far as expectations and commonplaces and in specials. And that is just a contract between the students and the teachers in that classroom community of what we expect while we're in that classroom, being kind, courteous, all of the things that student created. And so they will introduce you to that when you're a guest in their room and ask you to also abide by that. So it's just an opportunity for our students to lead good things in their classrooms. They greet students, greet one another at the door, and we're just trying to empower our students to really take ownership of it as well. And that's on top of our ambassadors who you saw here tonight that are our campus ambassadors for us in community events. And we work hard to allow them different training opportunities to learn those skills. And then The other thing we wanted to highlight was the affirmations. We believe that it's important for our staff and our students to acknowledge one another for the hard work that they're doing. And we pour into our teachers as much as possible with that. We have parents that are able to, through the newsletter, send affirmations to staff members, and we highlight those on our social media pages to just really highlight the hard work that our teachers are doing. But we also have student shout outs that parents can even go on and nominate their child for something great they did, whether inside or outside the school setting, and that we can truly just celebrate our students in that regard. We have the positive office referrals and all these different things that we've put in place for that. So, all right. And then, for our student engagement opportunities, we have several. That is a very long list, but there's probably even more that we could have added. But some of our most important, most special ones we have partner PE, and that includes our students that are in those special education settings that Ms. Johnson talked about before with, our SLC classrooms, life skills, low incident classrooms, and so on. And so what partner PE is it's an opportunity for our students that are in those special education settings to have a partner, and those partners are fifth graders that have to apply to be a part of the program. And Coach Cheesy is really instrumental in, making this program possible for our students. But on our enrichment days, so they have, it's like every other Friday a month, depending on how the calendar shakes out. But they in the afternoon, they get together and they're partnered together. So a special education student with one of our partner PE students is there to help, like they play games, they do different activities, and it's just an awesome opportunity for our students to really partner together and learn from one another. And so I think truly it's just rewarding for all of the students and the staff involved. It's incredible. And those students then also go to Cast for Kids, which is up there, but that's an awesome day too. And there's a picture of that. And then this year, it started a little towards the end last year, and then it's really taken off this year. But one of our school resource officers, he's incredible, Officer Bobby Stivers, he has came to us with a plan. We said, run with it. Tell us what you need. We'll do what we need. And he truly has. He started a gentleman in training club for some of our fifth grade students. Just last week, they were learning to tie ties. They're learning how to greet people, how to shake hands. And so the students were able to just sign up if they were interested. And I think pretty much, yeah, I'm like, that's almost all of the fifth grade boys. So they're very excited about it. They wear their ties on Fridays, and Officer Bobby encourages that. And he's just really worked with a lot of the dads to try and build that program and make that possible for our students, which then kind of goes into the Dadvocates. That's at the bottom. Officer Bobby also kind of helped us with getting that started. It kind of tied together because he started Dadvocates, where they were helping on campus, and like they'll help with parking on big event days, or they beautify the campus on a Saturday and offer their time to come and do that. They'll greet students in the morning, and it's just a positive meal presence for our students in many different ways. And that has kind of then evolved into the gentleman in training group, because that group of dads that are regularly helping on campus, we're like, what more can we do? And so they're just pouring into our students as much as they can. And then the last thing that we had up there, I kind of already mentioned that, was our positive office referrals. And it's been a great way for us to just celebrate our students. And we don't always, the parents don't want to just hear a call from the office because something happened. And, I even called a parent the other day, and they're like, oh no. And I was like, no, this is good. This is good. And so it's just a great way to celebrate our students. And they come up, they get their picture and their coupon and then a little prize. So.
So for community service and engagement, that's one of the things that is a pillar for Mambrino. I know that we are really focusing on this school year. I'll expound a little more on the Dadvocates. I will say that's a unique opportunity that Tammy Clark was even telling me that, and Wade came up to me the other day and said that he's talking to some of his SROs on other campuses to look at kind of expounding that out and using the resources that we have, because that's free resources, and those are dads that want to do that. And so we want them on our campus. Two of the projects I want to talk about, we're doing a project in every grade level this school year, and they've been charged with, it's a whole community project, so it has to be something that we ask for things from the outside, and then that grade heads it up. And so two that are pretty unique is the Halloween costume drive we did this year. It was the very first time. Third grade came, said, we want to do this in upcycle costumes. So we asked for costumes from the community and parents, and you can see the photo of all the costumes we got. Then they set up a drive after school for the students to be able to come with their parents and get a costume for free. We ended up having 80-something costumes, and we had 4 left. So it was very much a success and will be continued. I talked to the STEAM ambassadors last week about doing a Lego upcycling. With us being STEAM, you know, we all know if you're a parent, you have 94 million Legos at your house, and all of those kits, once they fall apart and you can't find the book to put it back together, we now have a big bucket of Legos. So we're gonna put that out here soon and game those Legos on campus, and then use that to make STEAM bins for all of our new staff when they join our campus, so that's one less thing they have to purchase. And that'll be headed up by our ambassadors that you met tonight. There's others up there that you can read, but we're trying really hard. So for example, the cereal box, every student is charged to bring a cereal box. Then 5th grade uses it as a STEAM project where they work out the diameter, the spacing and everything, and we do a domino all the way through our building, but the whole school gets to see it. So it's just kind of a community and school event. All right, this is where we are really proud. You know, everybody's always proud when their letter grade changes. When I started at Mambrino, it was 2022. You can see that we were sitting in the C range, but with 2 categories, academic growth and closing the gaps in the D range, 68 and 66. I'm really proud to report that all of those areas have grown. And if you look at the academic growth, we went from 68 to 80 in 2 years. That doesn't happen without a staff that's bought in and willing to listen and say, tell us how you play the game so that we can get better at it. And our campus goal this year is to continue having those intentional conversations and planning, but placing an emphasis on our special education students and all types of learners and all types of instruction, making sure that they're getting the highlights of the lesson every single day in every classroom. And we did go from a C rating to a B rating with the state. And seeing that we have 25% special education, if you're familiar with education at all, you know that that means there's a lot of hard work that's happening, because all of our students are held accountable to that. Last, we'll end with just some student perspective, the things that they said. They love their friends in class. They love their teachers. They love the smiles every day. And as you can hear, capturing kids' hearts is all throughout that, the hugs and the high fives. But the coolest part, and if you ask them, these students told us the other day, it's the inclusivity of our campus. You can't create that if it's not naturally there. And so our students learn how to work with all types of people and all types of learners. We even have 2 5th grade girls, one of which is here, that volunteers in our life skills classroom, and said, I want to have a sleepover with my buddy from your classroom. Like, joining those classes together and seeing the growth that we've seen from our students is incredible. So that is it, and I get to answer all of your questions. And I think I stayed within my time frame, Dr. Morosky. No? During practice, it was good. Yeah. Any questions for us or anything you want me to answer?
I love seeing all the great things going on and how y'all pour into the students and bring in the community and parents to help you in supporting them.
Yes.
And things just outside of just academics too, and building those relationships. Thank you for sharing that. It was lovely and it just warms my heart.
Thank you. Appreciate it very much.
You're doing a
I
great.
like this, especially the bits about gentlemen in training and the Dadvocates thing.
Yeah.
I mean, getting parents involved in it does wonders.
Yes, it does.
So-
I had a little girl today say to me, can we have a girls club like that? I said, we can. You bring me some ideas. So
Yeah.
we'll do that next.
So I love that, and I love this.
Thank you.
Letter grade differences. I've talked to you before about. We always. I should say we always. We sometimes celebrate little incremental changes, and these are real big changes. 66 to 79. I'll give you a B on that. And 68 to 80 is crazy. So
Thank
that's
you.
good. I love it.
It is not possible without all 99 staff members. I will say that. I can say what to do all day long and I can tell you how to do it, but if you're not going to do it and you're not on board, things like that don't happen. So I'm very grateful for our staff.
All right. So one last thing. Thank you. Thanks for hosting us this week.
welcome.
That was great. And
Thank you
your
for coming.
Star players, student ambassadors were great.
Thank you.
Everybody. Thank you.
Melissa, you're doing a great job. Thank you so much for all that you do for those kiddos out there. We'd like to invite those girls to come back up, or your ambassadors.
And we have one
all of them, boys,
one
girls and
gentleman.
boys, yes, to come on back up, and we'd like to congratulate them on their leadership in your school, and the teachers. And Randy, we want you to come back up, and thank you so much. We love how you love our kids.
Jessica, slide her. There we go. There we go. I couldn't see you behind it.
Yeah. And if we have any parents and family members in the audience, would you please stand and be recognized? Yeah. Thank you. Okay, next up, we'll be moving into our achievement spotlight. And first up, we have the J.C. Campbell Legacy of Service Essay Contest winners, presented by Renee Jackson and Stacy Roaming.
Good evening. I'm Stacy Roaming. I'm one of the district curriculum coordinators and a co-director along with Renee Jackson of the branded, new titled J.C. Campbell Legacy of Service Essay Contest. I would like to take a moment to recognize Jerry Campbell in the audience. He is one of J.C. Campbell's sons. And he's a former school board trustee. I'd also like to thank our donors for supporting this year's contest. If you're in the room, please stand when called. Carrie Bellamy with Edward Jones, Bob and Julia Pinnell, and the Friends of Memorial Lane. So just give them a round of applause. Before we recognize our essay contest winners, I'd like to highlight the incredible artwork displayed out in the foyer. This beautiful exhibit was created by our talented Granbury High School art students under the direction of Sarah Meadows. If any GHS art student or Sarah are here, please stand to be recognized. Maybe not. Their work is absolutely outstanding. Now it is my pleasure to recognize our elementary campus essay winners. From Acton Elementary, Madeline Clubb. From Bacchus Elementary, Emma Worthy. From Bronner Elementary, Diana Lopez. From Mambrino Elementary, Arabella Lee. And from Oakwood School, Cooper Copeland, who is also the winner of our Elementary Division District winner. Now to oh, that's okay. I think, are you? Yay! Now I'd like to recognize our secondary winners. From Acton Middle School, Matthew Nolly. From Granbury Middle School, Cambry Smith. From Stars, Misty Myers. And from Granbury High School, who is also the winner of our secondary division, Sophie Ellis. Congratulations to all of our students for exemplifying the spirit of service and leadership that this contest celebrates.
Mr. Campbell, would you like to join us in this picture? Jerry?
In the middle. Yep. All right, all ready? Look here. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh. Look up, look up. There we go. Parents, you want to get y'all's
And if we have any parents or family in the audience, would you please stand and be recognized?
Can I say something about Jerry, about JC? Huh? Well, you want to talk about the parents first? She did? Okay. All right. Okay, good to see you. For those of you that did not know J.C. Campbell, he was quite a legend in our city and in our county. He was a city councilman for a long time, and then after that, we could always count on him being present in our school board meetings. His son Jerry, who is here tonight, was a longtime school board member, was a school board president for many terms, and quite active in our community for a long time. He has since moved to Bluffdale and is on school board there, so he is quite active in education. And his mother was Sylvia Campbell, who was principal in our school district, and a longtime advocate for public education. So this award was named after a great person and after a great family. So Jerry Campbell, we thank you so much for being here tonight. We love the Campbell family.
Thank you. Okay, the next item on our achievement spotlight is the cross-country state qualifier presented by Amber Ward.
Hello, thank y'all so much for having us tonight. I'm Amber Adams now, but Amber Ward, I still go by, my kids still call me that too because it's been my last name forever. So I answer to anything, it's perfectly fine. This is my 23rd year here at Granbury ISD, so I feel very fortunate and privileged to be able to coach kids such as Gannon. You don't have state qualifiers that come along very often. So he is exemplary. He came to us his sophomore year from Grace Classical. He came in the middle of the year, so he didn't get to run cross country for us that year. But his junior year, he qualified for the regional cross country meet. His senior year, he started off great this season. Our first meet was at Burleson Centennial, and they combined the 5A and 6A races at those. So he's competing not only against the 5A kids, but against the 6A kids also. So he won that meet. He was first place. Our next meet was at the Burleson Elk Run. Same thing. He runs against the 6A kids. He won that meet also. Then we went to Godley. It's a smaller meet, but still very competitive. He won that meet. And then he kind of had some health setbacks, some Achilles, some hamstring issues that he had to battle. It was out a couple of meets. Came back strong at our home meet here in Granbury. He won that meet also. And then we were at district time. At the district cross country meet, you have to place in the top 10 in order to qualify for the regional meet. He got second place, qualified for the regional meet in Lubbock. We got out there. Again, you have to qualify top 10 in our region, which is a very hard region. Region 1 is very tough. He got 8 at the regional meet to qualify for the state meet in Austin. We got down there. He was, again, his hamstring was flaring up again, had some issues with that. Ran great the first 2 miles, kind of struggled on the last mile, ended up 87th out of 152 kids in the state of Texas, which is still great. He was a little disappointed in his time because he really wants to go to college and run and do all those things, but he's been icing it and dealing with that and had some doctor's appointments. So we're hoping for the best for him so that he can go on and run in college, but super proud of this kid. He works hard not only at our practice, but he does all the extra stuff that a lot of kids don't do, like watching what he eats, you know, getting enough sleep, doing weights outside of our practice time. So I feel privileged to have coached him, and this is Gannon Dolan. Thank y'all for having us, state qualifier this year.
And if there's any parents or family and friends in the audience, please stand and be recognized. Okay, next up on our achievement spotlight is the Charlton-Kirk Senior of the Month, presented by Charlton-Kirk Motors.
Good evening, board. I would like to present Brian Thompson. He's Charlton-Kirk Automotive representative and a big supporter of Granbury ISD and Granbury High School.
Thank you, Hussein. Good evening, everybody. I'm here to honor Giselle Umanzur as the Charlton-Kirk Senior of the Month. Giselle is a passionate student whose goals center on service, compassion, and music. She plans to continue her education to become a radiation therapist. Giselle's deeply involved in band and community service. She also volunteers at Waterview Memory Care, where she connects with residents living with dementia and Alzheimer's. Her dedication to helping others and her love for music continue to shape her journey toward a future of service and care. Thank you, and help me congratulate Giselle.
And if we have any parents, family, and friends in the audience, please stand and be recognized. And next we have our community donations presented by Ms. Alana.
All right, we have a lot of donations this month. We're going to do it a little differently this time. I am going to announce all of the organizations or individuals who contributed to donations. This month, we had donations from the Optimist Club, the GHS Choir Booster Club, the GHS Band Booster Club, the Touchdown Club, GHS Volleyball Booster Club, the GHS Pirate Basketball Booster Club, the GHS Lady Pirate Basketball Booster Club, the Pirate Baseball Booster Club, the GHS Lady Pirate Softball Booster Club, the GHS Girls Golf Booster Club, the Swim Team Booster Club, the GHS Pirate Soccer Booster Club, the Boys Golf Booster Club, Tim and Don Moser family to the GHS Barbecue Team Student Activity Fund, John Manvold donated to the GHS Barbecue Team, John Walma to the GHS Barbecue Team, PTO to the Bronner Campus Activity Fund, PTO to the Bronner Campus Activity, PTO to the Oakwood Campus, Propane Exchange to the AM Student Activity, DVZ Fluent Figures Tutoring to the AMS Activity, Jan Williams to the AMS Activity, Steve and Melissa Bird to the AMS Activity account, Unblemished to the AMS Activity Fund, Charlton-Kirk donated to the GISD activity, as well as to the, Brian Thompson, to the campus activity account, to the travel, and the National Concert Band Festival. And we had 2 anonymous donations from our community for a total of $74,273.53.
That is just amazing.
It's amazing.
Every
Totally
time
amazing.
I'm blown away by the community support and the amount of time, energy, effort, and money that our parents and families in this community pour into our kids in this district, and I'm so grateful for them. Thank you. Okay, next up, we have public comments. Nobody signed up tonight, so we will move on to the superintendent's report. Dr. Morosky.
Absolutely. Thank you. And thank you to those that are still in the audience. I know our students and families leave, but thank you to those that are left and our remaining principal as well. So a couple of great announcements. Number one, we have been selected. Granbury ISD has been named a CTE District of Distinction. Recognizing the strong commitment of our career and technical education and preparing students for success in college careers and beyond. And so the group that gave us that distinction is CTAT, and it's the largest CTE advocate in the state. And to this, the first year they gave the honor, only 38 districts statewide received it. I think we're waiting to see how many got it this year. So it's a really great honor. We're excited to have that. And a special thank you to Todd Gibson and his team, both teachers and staff over at the CTE department. So we're very excited about that. We also have an update. We've been preparing for a district vulnerability assessment. You guys, this is a scrambled word day for me. DVA is what we call it. And so I want to say thank you to the team, Wade Clark and his team, but also the principals and assistant principals that helped prepare and whoever else helped in that process. And I know I see Stacy over here too. It was a district effort to make sure that we passed the test. We don't have the official results back yet, from my understanding, but the word on the street is we did really well with our security check. So it's all about security. Update from last time we were together, the 10 Commandment posters have been delivered to each campus and are being placed in classrooms this week, placed up in classrooms this week. Also, we have an update from our last strategic plan workshop that we did as a board. And so just a couple of things for our community to know that as part of our strategic planning workshop, we began the process of identifying districts to compare ourselves with, both in Texas and across the nation. So we narrowed our Texas comparison groups to Midway ISD, Roma ISD, and Sharyland ISD. Each of these districts are A-rated districts with similar size and demographics and program offerings to Granbury ISD. And so we'll tackle looking at national groups to compare ourselves to in this effort to continue to grow. And we're excited about that work. And so thank you to board. They also, during that workshop, really took time to review the facility assessment in greater detail and began determining priority projects for us to start thinking about as a district. So I appreciate their efforts in that. Our new members will be a part of the discussion going forward, so we're excited to hear their thoughts on that. We are in the middle of another round of advisory teams, you guys, and I can't tell you how grateful I am for these groups. I talk to kids and community members and staff members and parents. And Lisa Oliver, are you in the room still? Where'd she go? She always shuffling out when I want to give her some attention. So she does a great job of organizing that. I'm grateful for her. This week, we also have the Thanksgiving feasts on campuses. If you've been to one of those, you know how exciting those are for the kids. They're Tuesday through Thursday this week. You can check our calendar online that Ryan and his team keeps updated with reminders from the campus that enter those in. Thank you for that. And then the last thing to know is that after the board meetings, we send out a family newsletter and a community newsletter. If you don't get any of those, go to our website on the front page and you can sign up for a community newsletter to get those in your email box. And my last words are happy Thanksgiving, because I won't see most of you until after Thanksgiving. So I'm grateful for each of you. I'm proud to work in this district, and I hope you all enjoy time with your friends and family as well. And that's my report.
Thank you, Dr. Morosky. Okay, moving on to consider action on items discussed in closed session. First up is to consider staff recommendations. Do I have a motion?
Madam President, I ask that we approve the staff recommendations as presented in closed session.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, that's a motion by Mr. Moore and a second by Mr. Bolton. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor, raise your hand. All right, let the record show that is 6 in favor, and we have 1 absent, being Barbara Townsend. Motion passes. Okay, moving on to board officers. I will start with the secretary position. Do I have a nomination or a motion for secretary?
Madam President, since she's not here to defend herself, I nominate Barbara Townsend for secretary.
Okay. I have a motion to nominate Barbara Townsend as secretary. Do I have a second?
I second the motion.
Okay, and that is a second by Ms. Alana. Any discussion? Okay, hearing none. All in favor, raise your hand. Okay, let the record show that is 6 in favor, 1 absent, being Barbara Townsend. Okay, moving on to vice president position. Do I have a nomination and motion for vice president?
Madam President,
You're it.
I would like to nominate Ms. Nancy Alana for vice president.
Okay, I have a motion by Mr. Moore to nominate Nancy Alana as vice president. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a second by Mr. Bolton. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor, raise your hand. Let the record show that is 6 in favor, 1 absent, being Barbara Townsend. Okay, next, we're moving on to the president position. Do I have a nomination and motion for board president?
Madam President, I'd like to nominate Courtney Gore.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I won.
Who is it? Who wants it? Okay, Bolton, Mr. Bolton. So I have a motion by Ms. Alana and a second by Mr. Bolton to nominate Courtney Gore as president. Any discussion? All in favor, raise your hand. Let the record show that is 6-4 and 1 absent, being Barbara Townsend. Okay, so we have our officers. We'll rearrange seats when Barbara gets back since she's not here. We won't have to do that right now. And then moving on to the consent agenda items. Do I have anybody that wants to pull something for discussion? Okay, hearing no discussion on those, do I have a motion to accept the consent agenda items?
I'll make that motion.
I have a motion by Mr. Bolton. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
And a second by Ms. Alana. Any discussion? Okay, hearing none. Let's all in favor, raise your hand. Let the record show that is 6-4, 6 in favor, and 1 absent, being Ms. Barbara Townsend. Moving on to discussion action items. Item 16A, discuss and possible action on voting in the election of the Central Appraisal District Board of Directors for the 2026-2029 of Johnson County. Dr. Courtney Morosky.
Okay, so we currently do not have any information from that county yet, so we are unable to vote at this time.
Okay.
Wait, I have some.
We don't have, we are not
We didn't get it
nominated.
from them.
Huh?
We didn't get it from them.
No, we didn't.
I know some people on their list.
Okay, so we'll have to vote the next time, I guess. We didn't, is Davelin in here? We don't have anything official from them. Okay, we have to have the official.
Yeah.
form. Yeah.
Yeah, we got to have their thing, their resolution. Okay, so no action on A. And item 16B, discuss and possible action on voting in the election of the Central Appraisal District Board of Directors of Hood County. Dr. Morosky.
Yes, we do have this information. And so as a reminder, board, the last meeting or meeting before that, we did nominate 5 members to this ballot, and all 5 are on here. As a reminder, we had Mr. Scott Bradley, Mr. John Highsmith, Mr. Richard Hafes, Mr. Mark McDonald, and Mr. James Wall were all names nominated by this board. And as a reminder, in Hood County, we have 3,115 votes that we can place. And you guys can decide if we divide those up evenly, each of those 5 people would get 623 votes. But it's up for discussion, however we want to proceed with Hood County.
Has anyone talked to Eddie Rodriguez? Did he want to stay on the HCAD board? He's currently on there right now, correct? Eddie Rodriguez.
I thought he didn't want to be.
I don't know anything about it.
Okay.
He's not on the list, so I assume he's not being considered.
Yeah, we have to stick to this part
This
of
is
the
our
voting
nominees to vote on.
These are the nominees we came up
Right.
with last time, yeah. I believe Billy did check with him, though. I know that name was brought up and they checked.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, if there's no discussion, I'll make a motion to distribute evenly 623 each to 3,115 votes to each of them.
A second motion.
To each one, so Scott Bradley, John Highsmith, Richard Heffs, Martin McDonald, and James Wall would each get how many votes? 623. Okay, I have a motion by Mr. Bolton to split our allocation of votes evenly across the nominees. Do I have a second?
A second.
I have a second by Ms. Alana. All in favor? Oh, I'm sorry. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hand. Okay, motion passes, 6 in favor and 1 absent, being Barbara Townsend.
Okay, so, oh, sorry.
Moving on to item 16C, discuss and possible action on voting in the election of the Central Appraisal District Board of Directors of Parker County.
Yes.
Dr. Morosky.
So we do have Parker County's information as well. There are 2 names that are on this ballot, Richard Barrett and Joe Wilkinson, and we have 6 votes. So we can divide those up as well. There would be 3 votes each if
3
we want to
votes
do
each.
that, or however the board would like to proceed.
Yep, I'll do the same thing. I'll make the motion that we divide those 6 votes evenly, 3 each to Richard Barrett and Joe Wilkinson.
Okay, I have a motion by Mr. Bolton to divide the votes evenly among the nominees. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
And a second by Mr. Moore. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor, raise your hand. Let the record show that is 6 in favor and 1 absent, being Barbara Townsend. Moving on to item 16D, discuss and possible action on voting in the election of the Central Appraisal District Board of Directors of Somerville County. Dr. Courtney Morosky.
Yes, so we have their ballot information as well. And on the ballot for this group, we have 6 people that are on the ballot, and I'll read their names. They are Nemo Britton, Brady Brown, Wade Bush, Neil Laws, Lori Mapes, and Woody Martin. So 6 total people on the ballot, and we have 9 votes. This does not evenly divide.
Not evenly
Not,
divided.
so we have to decide how to use the 9 votes. So if any discussion that you would like to move forward with that.
Well, I can speak to that a little bit in that if we're going to favor one over the others, I did speak to people in Somerville County, and they seem to all like this Brady Brown. So I might even make a motion to give them all 9 of them.
You want to give all, so is that a motion by you to give all 9 votes to Brady Brown?
Yes.
Okay, I have a motion by Mr. Bolton to give all 9 votes to Brady Brown. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
And a second by Ms. Alana. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor, raise your hand. Let the record show that 6 in favor, 1 absent, being Ms. Townsend. Okay, moving on to 16E, discuss and take action to approve the audit services vendor request for clarifications. Mr. Emmett Whitefield.
Thank you, Madam President. Board, in front of you, you do have the memo for the RFQ for audit services that we discussed at the last meeting. It does have a scoring summary there that you can see. It is the same memo with some clarification from some questions that were asked this month. Those are highlighted in there for you to see. It is the recommendation of the committee that the board approves Snow Garrett as external auditor for Granbury ISD with Patillo Brown as the alternative selection. Both firms demonstrated exceptional school district expertise, proven track records with comparable Texas ISDs, qualified teams committed to our engagement, ability to meet all timeline requirements, strong ability and assurance with past peer reviews. They both are AICPA members and QA/QC membership. The evaluation was based on submitted proposals, credentials, team qualifications, and professional judgment of the committee. References provided by both firms were contacted and gave excellent feedback. Once the board confirms the recommendation, then the district can request a fee schedule and from the awarded firm, and if negotiations fail, then we can move on to the second firm for your approval and discussion.
Okay, any further questions for Emmett Whitefield? Okay,
So it's my understanding that Patillo, Brown, and Hill, their references checked out as well?
They did, yes, sir.
Okay. And how long has Snow Garrett been the district's auditor?
We've been with them for 14 consecutive years.
Okay. And I just need to make it known, my brother-in-law is a partner at Whitley Penn, who's the number 3 on your list. He's married to my wife's sister, so brother-in-law by marriage. It's just been my experience in the past that sometimes it's good to change up audit firms every now and then to make sure that we have a separate set of eyes looking over the books. And if we have somebody who's been doing it for 14 years, I would just suggest maybe we need to look at the second firm who scores really well, because it's been a long time.
I agree.
I agree.
Do I have a motion? Is that a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Okay. I have a motion by Mr. Stuart Neal to go with the second recommendation, the name of
Patillo, Brown, and Hill.
Patillo Brown. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a motion by Mr. Neal and a second by Mr. Bolton. Any further discussion?
I think it's a good idea as well. I like Snow Garrett Williams. I think they've done an outstanding job for our school district for a long time, and I have nothing but praise for them. I do think that it's time to switch, and I could concur that I think it's time that we make that switch.
Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all in favor, raise your hand. Okay, let the record show that 6 in favor and 1 absent, being Miss Barbara Townsend. Okay, we had an emergency item added to our agenda. So this is 16F. Discuss and take action to approve the authorization for an emergency procurement process at STEAM Academy at Mambrino. Mr. Emmett Whitefield.
Thank you, Madam President. Board, I will read this to you so that you have a clear understanding. There was a leak recently identified at Mambrino School in an area separate from an original issue. The initial repair was quoted at $90,000. The second leak will be identified and addressed. Due to the nature and timing of these issues, the total cost is expected to exceed the district's usual procurement threshold and will potentially surpass the $100,000 threshold. Justification for the emergency declaration: as per Granbury ISD Board Policy CH Legal and CH Local, emergency purchases may be authorized without following standard competitive bidding procedures when immediate repairs are necessary to protect health, safety, and prevent disruption of district operations. In this case, delaying repairs could lead to a more significant damage. Legal authority and procurement processes in accordance with Texas Education Code 44031H and Board Policy BE Legal regarding board meetings and emergency meetings, the board is authorized to approve emergency procurement actions either during regularly scheduled meetings or through emergency meetings procedures if necessary. This agenda item is presented for formal approval at the upcoming board meeting, which is this meeting, in compliance with open meetings laws and board governance policies. The request is that the Board of Trustees to approve the emergency procurement declaration authorizing the district to proceed with repairs up to and potentially exceeding $100,000 contingent upon subsequent repairs and assessments.
Okay, any questions for Mr. Whitefield?
Yes. You have dollars associated with emergencies like this, so it's not gonna.
This is within the, yes, sir, it's within the function budget. Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, any further questions?
I will just want to make sure the board knows that we have many restrooms out of service right now on Ms. Schiff's campus. So she is very much hopeful that this will go through and be approved to begin the repair work.
Do I have a motion to approve the emergency item that was added to authorize emergency procurement processes at STEAM Academy in Mambrino?
So moved.
I have a motion by Mr. Moore. Do I have a second?
Second.
And a second by Mr. Lawrence. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hand. Let the record show that is 6 in favor and 1 absent, being Ms. Townsend. Okay, moving on to, yay, we can flush the toilets again. Moving on to the reports, strategic plan, EB, Emergent Bilingual Program Evaluation. We have Dan Allard, Misty Walters, and Stacy Brown.
All right, good evening, Dr. Moraski and board. Tonight, I'm going to introduce you to Misty Walters, who is our Coordinator of Assessment, Accountability, and Compliance. Amy Gilbert is retiring, and Misty is taking over for her and a couple of other functions within our department as well. And then we also have Dan Allard, who is our Coordinator of Emergent Bilingual and Dual Language Instruction. And so he is taking over the majority of Christina Sosby's position as well. And tonight, they're going to be presenting the 24-25 Emergent Bilingual Program Evaluation.
Dr. Morawski, Board of Trustees. I'll begin with Granbury ISD's Emergent Bilingual Program. Emergent Bilingual, we say EB a lot in the state of Texas, used to be English Learner, EL, and it's an overarching program which consists of two models. So I'll start with the first one. The dual language immersion one-way program that we have is a biliteracy program. It's also known as an additive bilingual model. That means that we are adding another language and not negating the first language for second language acquisition. This develops students' linguistic and academic and cognitive abilities in both Spanish and in English, and we promote bilingualism, biliteracy through cross-cultural understanding. This program starts at pre-K at Emma Robertson, and we have two dual language campuses, Bronner and Bacchus. Another part of the EB program is English as a Second Language, or ESL, as you probably are familiar with. This program focuses mainly on developing English skills, and we have 4 domains that we develop: literacy in English, reading, writing, listening, and speaking. And so we want to support academic growth, cognitive development across all the content areas, and at the same time, we want to develop second language acquisition overall. And the ESL program is offered at all campuses, GISD.
Good evening. The state requires that all students complete a home language survey to determine whether a student may need language support services. And the survey asks specific questions about the languages used at home by the child. If any response indicates that a language other than English, the district must administer a language proficiency test. And this process ensures students are properly identified for support. The chart that you see are the native languages of the EB students in GISD. A child's native language is typically the first language that they've learned. It reflects their early language development and may differ from the language most used in the home on a daily basis. We have a total of 15 different languages in Granbury ISD, and with the majority of the EB students having Spanish as their native language.
On this chart, you can see these are some of our numbers throughout the last few years, and you see in the green the word reclassification. So reclassification is we want our EBs or our emergent bilinguals to become English proficient. So we want them to become EP. So that's called exiting the program or reclassification. So you can see that in the year 2023, we didn't have but 0.01% of our students exit or reclassify to English proficient. That number grew drastically in 2024, and we were very close in 2025. And you also see in the white bar graph that the top numbers, what those are the full numbers of our EBs throughout the district. So our numbers have grown from 2023, and we stayed more or less the same in the last few years, and we've gone down significantly because of our reclassification rates. Oh, I have to go again. And then I'll speak to our bilingual student progress overall. As you can see on this bar chart, for the TELPAS test in 2025, we take this test every year in February and in March. So the TELPAS test is the Texas English Language Proficiency Assessment System, which is mandated by the state to give to every emergent bilingual student. And basically that means we test the students in all 4 domains: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. And Granbury ISD is outperforming the region and the state overall. And of all our EBs that we have, we had 942 total, but we actually don't test students that are in pre-K. We start in grades K and 1, but we don't test them online till grade 2. So that's why you see this 651 figure here. And so we had 651 students participate in this English test, and 365 showed measurable progress from the previous school year. And that progress starts in grade 3 for the online version.
School districts are required by the state to provide a bilingual and ESL program staff with certified teachers. And when a district cannot hire enough certified teachers despite documented recruitment efforts, it must file a bilingual exception or an ESL waiver, and to ensure that we're in compliance and continue the services for the students. So last year we had to file a bilingual exception for 1 teacher. This year, we had to file a bilingual exception for 2 teachers and an ESL waiver for 2 teachers as well. And these filings just communicate with the state that the district is actively working to meet the certification requirements and maintain legally required services for our EB students.
And this will be our last slide. So our overall program goals and development for the dual language program and the ESL program, if you look at the first bullet, we want to ensure that all of our teachers in the dual language program are bilingual certified, and that we're also ESL certified, especially all of our English teachers. It would be ideal to have all of our staff ESL certified. Maybe we'll get there one day. We want to offer training and professional development for those that are not yet certified. So we'll spend some of our funds for that and do all that we can in our department to get those teachers fully trained. Second bullet, we want to implement the dual language and ESL programs effectively using high quality instructional methods and materials, which we are currently doing in all of our classes and all of our courses. And the third bullet, we want to continue researching the impact of stipends on hiring and retaining high quality, highly qualified staff. We want to keep good teachers around, and we want to see what the impact of these stipends are. The last bullet is we want to continuously study dual language models and implementation strategies to best meet the needs of Granbury ISD's emergent bilingual students. There are many different types of dual language models, one-way, two-way, and there's about 4 different types, and we want to continue seeing what's best for our students in our district. And do you have any questions for us?
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
So at one time, we were trying to make sure every teacher that was hired was ESL certified. Is that not happening anymore? Okay, so these teachers that are being certified online and coming to us, are they being ESL certified?
Yes, I mean, there are different degrees of that, but yes, the requirement is that we're trying to hire all ESL certified.
Okay.
So the waiver, can you explain what the waiver does for us while we're waiting for the certification?
The waiver, we have to do some professional development for the teachers that aren't certified. And so the waiver, we just basically are telling the state, this is what we're doing. And then we go through a process, and the waiver was filed by November the 1st. And so just stated the specific teachers and the students, the number of students that were affected by the waiver. And so we'll continue the professional development for those.
So does that mean that they're just taking professional development to basically build that skill set in lieu of getting certified?
Yes, and we also have paraprofessionals that support them in the classrooms as well, so that they have some extra supports in the system. And just on one circumstance, we just had a very unfortunate situation happen, and so and that happened. So, and then a couple of others are special ed certified, and they're just difficult to find.
Yes.
So bilingual special ed.
And Wes, it's not in lieu of, it's in addition to, is that correct? Are they still expected to get their certification? That was the question.
Okay,
Yes.
that's
So
what I
it's
was
not-
trying to clarify.
Okay,
So
so
it will get certified.
yes.
Okay.
So they're getting certified, but we have to file it right now while they're working on that certification.
And then it's not mentioned on the slides or any of the bullets, but it's a good time to mention the international program that we approved a few months back.
Are the teachers on your list, are they included in that, the international teachers that are now teaching in our bilingual class? That's good. So that's great. So we're happy to hear that. It was a good system that the board approved us to use.
And just specifically so that you guys know, we receive an EB allotment from the state of Texas, which we set aside. And because we file waivers, we must allocate a 10% towards the professional development and the development of our teachers towards getting the certification as well as making their job more effective. And so that's to the tune of about 60,000.
Yeah, to be clear, that's 10% of the EB allocation, not 10%.
Correct. I didn't say that. I'm sorry.
You're good.
The EB allotment, 10% of the EB allotment. Yeah.
No, I wasn't. I want to make that clear.
I have a
Thank y'all
question.
for that. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, on the list of the 15 different languages, what is Pashto?
We've got 2 of those.
I believe that's the language in Afghanistan.
Afghanistan, okay.
Oh, okay. That's the only one I didn't recognize.
It's interesting to see those statistics. You don't realize,
Oh, yeah,
you
there's
know.
another one.
Yeah. How about that 4th one down?
Jahardi?
Yeah.
Jahardi?
Don't even try.
Juhardi?
We've got 2 of those.
I may need to go back to that slide to pronounce it.
Yeah, I don't.
Okay.
Well, thank y'all for all your work and for that information. It's great to see the good things happening in our district and kids and student outcomes improving. And I appreciate all your work and effort that you pour into our teachers, our staff, and our students.
Thank you.
Okay, next report is Transportation Report. Brian Caruthers, Transportation Director. Okay, did I say your last name wrong? Caruthers, I'm sorry.
As long as you call me for dinner.
Mr. Brian.
Perfect.
Call me for dinner.
Am I doing this or are you doing this? I'm doing it? Okay. Perfect. All right. Want to do a quick, what we call a 50,000 foot view of what we do at transportation. Try to move as quickly as can because I know we've had a long meeting tonight. Last year, we traveled 1,434,573 miles. Now, a guy like me sees a lot of numbers with commas and he's going, golly, what does that mean? Well, I looked it up. And what it means is we went to the moon and back 3 times. I can see that. I can see that moon out there, and I can tell we've been traveling a lot. It averages around 6,600 miles a day. And you guys that have been here with me before know that I measure from one side of the country at LA over to Charleston and back. At this point, we have done the 2.5 times each day. So we're putting lots and lots of miles on there when you see this coming through. Currently, we have 40 general education routes, 15 special needs routes, and 2 special program routes. Typically, those special program routes are routes we run in a white fleet. They're little hotshot runs that we run out and get a special student that needs to go somewhere else that a bus won't cover. And the fleet covers 67 big buses, general ed buses, 23 small buses, which we typically call the special needs buses, and 19 white fleet. Now, you'll see some big differences here, and towards the end of my visit, I'll explain where all of those numbers come together. Currently, we are running 89 employees. That's route drivers, attendants, sub-drivers, technicians, and clerks. It takes the whole lot of us to make those wheels go around that kind of miles. So the question comes up, let's see if I can make this work, and I did. How do we do it? The magic comes with double routes. Now, folks dislike, whatever, but I can tell you the magic comes with the double routes. And the reason for that is with the double routes, we're able to go get the little kids, bring them in, go back out and get the big kids with the same number of employees or with less employees and with less fleet. If we were to go back to a single route, we would have to have double the employees and double the fleet. So that's where the magic comes, but also with that magic comes lots and lots of miles, as you've seen. We begin at 5 in the morning, running for their double routes, and drivers, they start coming in, checking their equipment out, and about 5:30, vehicles start rolling. If you're over here, run through it that morning, you'll see the lights on and buses starting to run out. By about 7:15, we've arrived at the elementary campuses, and we have dropped off our elementary kiddos, and we're running back out again to get the middle school and high school, hence the double routes, that kind of stuff. And we get those guys back at 8:15. Everyone's gathering back up at transportation about 8:45 to 9 o'clock, and we have a little bit of a lull in between. That doesn't mean things have stopped, because if you know anything about transportation, transportation hardly ever stops. I was talking to the facilities, Kevin Cummins, about doing a interview about our when we can come in to look to see when the electricity. And I said, Kevin, we are running all the time. You might be able to come in Thanksgiving and Christmas and maybe New Year's. So for some reason, he didn't want to do it on it that time of year. In the afternoon, we come back in about 2 o'clock. See if I can make this work. I did. About 2 o'clock, we start coming back in, getting our stuff together, heading back out at 3 o'clock to pick up those elementary school kids to take home. Take all those kids to all the part of the district. Those of you that might not know, we cover 250 square miles, and I feel like we've physically covered each of that because we go out to the far corners. Some of you that might not know, we go out past where the Pate Museum used to be, Pate Road. We go out west all the way to Daniel's Feed. We go south all the way to past the Pines community, the Pines, Midway Pines, almost to the Stonewater Church there. And then when we're going north, we go all the way to the Parker County line. So we got lots of areas we're covering in there. Buses come back about 4 o'clock, get the middle school, high school kids, head out again. And just for good measure, we throw in a bonus round in there at 6 o'clock, and that bonus round is our activity route. The activity route takes the kids home that make the whole district look good. They take home the football kids, the basketball kids, the debate kids, the chess club kids, the kids that are studying for tutorials, and even those little kids that have to do the makeup and the detention kids. We take those kids and we take them home. Because we're out in different areas and we don't know exactly where we're going at that point, we have community stops rather than take everybody to their regular stop. So what that means is we might take them to the community pool. We might take them to a common area, community center, something like that. But we have our several stops set up in the surrounding area for that. Next point I'd like to, there we go. Few challengings that we got to talk about. One challenge that isn't on here, but I feel I need to talk about is the traffic. Anybody tried to go anywhere during their lunch hour around here? It's almost impossible. It's almost, you move in at a snail's pace, folks are coming and going everywhere all the time. Well, imagine doing that with 30 plus kids behind you, and they're all not sitting there like little angels. They're over there doing what kids are doing because they've been cupped up, they've been still all day, and they want to be involved with their kiddos. So they've got that on. So there's the traffic going on, and then there's the stuff going on behind us. So that's probably our first challenge, driving that. And let's bring up the point of the new construction that's coming. 377 construction's coming. We're already starting to see the construction coming on 144. They've got the McDonald's fenced up, and that place is soon to be gone. They're getting ready for this construction. What that's going to happen, that's going to be slowing us down, taking some time away from that. That's challenge number one. Challenge number two is to find good qualified drivers for that. It's not as easy as it used to be where we'd put a note in the paper and you'd get all kinds of folks answering. We have to be different. Some of you've probably seen the school bus we put out at Walmart with our ad. A lot of times that picks up a lot of folks. But we take those folks and we're picky about who we picky about who we choose to get in there, trying to find folks that are qualified to work with kids. We get those folks and then we teach them how to drive the school bus. We provide training, paid training to those guys to teach them how to be safe school bus drivers. Those are our challenges. A couple of words of appreciation. I just wanted to give you out. The first one is the NFT system that you guys have recently approved. That has been amazing. If Emmett's little Johnny happens to not be home or something, we can look on the bus and see where Johnny is. Did he get on the bus? We're able to scan. We're able to produce a list immediately of who's on the bus, and then we're able to use that list to even out our student load to run more efficiently. So that has been a grateful. So thank you for providing that tool for us. The other words of gratitude I would like is thank you for the new buses. We don't have them yet. I'm expecting 2 more weeks. We ought to have those in. Mr. Hussein was talking about, hey, that's going to be a nice Christmas present for you. And I'm going to agree. That's going to be a wonderful, because about that time's when the kids start moving around and that kind of stuff. And we do use a lot of our extra vehicles during that time. So that those 5 extra buses and the extra sped buses will be useful. That brings me to my final point, my brag, which is on my shop staff and my drivers. Let's go back to the last away football game. Remember on our very second page or whatever, I said we had 67 fleet and we had 40 routes, and I'm sure a lot of you going, well, that math doesn't really work out. We had everything with wheels going somewhere, either taking kids home or going to the football game on that last game that we were away. We had 2 school buses that are 20 years old that we held back in case something broke down, and we prayed really hard nothing broke down. So at that point, I'd just like to open it up, and do y'all have any questions for me?
I'll go.
Yes, sir.
So you mentioned community stops and that is efficient when you're doing the activity buses late in the day.
Yes, sir.
Would that be more efficient opportunity for us to do more community stops in the AM, PM routes?
That might save some time. Currently, board policy is that for the little guys, we're at a 1/4 mile, and for the big guys, we're at a 1/2 mile. We would have to look at where that was, that kind of stuff. Very similar, we also do community stops for summer school, and we could look at something along those lines. But we just haven't been able to get to that point yet. But that is a possibility to maybe shave some time off, especially when this traffic starts to steal our time.
I was going to say that especially in light of what we know to expect with 377 construction I think it's probably the biggest one.
Yes, sir.
But really construction everywhere. I've seen the master thoroughfares plan, and it's got a lot of stuff we're going to have to work around. Your team
It's
is
going to
gonna
be
have to work
interesting.
around.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
All right. Anybody else? All right. Thank you all very much. I appreciate your time.
Thank you, and thank you for making sure all the children in our district make it safely to their schools and campuses and back home again. We
Yes, ma'am.
appreciate all of you and all of your staff and everything y'all do to ensure they stay safe and get to where they need to go.
Yes, ma'am. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Okay, next up, we have an update on the 2023-2024 TEA Foundation, maintenance report. Maintenance report. You're going to be presenting on TEA Foundation setup. I don't know if anyone told you, but good luck. Maintenance report by,
Yeah, go ahead.
Maintenance report by Haley Veron.
Well, good evening, Madam President, Dr. Morowski, and members of the board. Thank you so much for allowing me this opportunity to speak on this magnificent department. It was this time last year when y'all approved me for this position, and it has been a phenomenal year. I've been in education over 20 years and part of some fabulous teams as teacher leaders, curriculum teams, also as a principal, all fabulous experiences, but there is something very different about this team that is not always seen out because we do a lot of behind the scenes work. And so I wanted to start by recognizing our great leadership team. First off, Sandy is our secretary, and we really know she is the heart of the department. She has turned the guys' conference room, lunchroom into her own place that she keeps them fed. We say if you get hired with our department, you're going to expect to gain about 10 pounds just from her and her wealth of knowledge of the district. She has been with Granbury ISD since 1988. And so for me, just having that experience is amazing. Also, we have Scott Campbell, who is our maintenance manager. He has been with the district for 39 years and just submitted his retirement, will be with us through December. His knowledge goes very deep. When we go onto a site, he's able to say that water line is right here just out of memory, so it'll be a huge loss. It's part of the reason why we had asked for the facility assessment, because we didn't have all of that information written down. He just would know, like in 2001, we had a hailstorm, so that roof got repaired in 2002. And so all of his knowledge, it's going to be some big shoes to fill coming up. Also, we have Kevin Cummings, who is over our facilities, and he does a little bit of everything, every reservation for our football fields, for our classrooms, for churches on our different events on Sundays, setting all of our controls for our HVAC units, over cameras, you name it. Everything usually kind of runs through him for our facilities, and he has been with the district for a while as well and worked his way up, starting with custodial to grounds to his current role too. I have 4 fabulous leads that I'll go into when I talk about their department as well. I also want to highlight that over 50% of our staff have kids now in Granbury ISD or kids that have graduated from Granbury. And I think that's what makes this so special, because it's not just a job for them, it's a school where one of their children also went to. So a few of our statistics are, we have a little bit over 1.5 million square feet that we provide services and support for in our maintenance department. We have over 621 acres that we also take care of, 13 game and practice athletic fields. And since I started this time, December of 2024, up to date when I made this presentation in October, we had closed out over 8,000 work orders in the system. And that is even larger than that, because a lot of times you're on a campus, you see something, you take care of it. And so some of those aren't always documented in that. Emmett had given me some examples as I was preparing mine, and that the last one that was presented, their number was a little over 3,000 several years ago. So the number of work orders that we're taking care of has increased over the time as well. Also with that, we have a very basic work order system, but it does give me a little bit of data to go through. We have been able to reduce our closure rate at the time it takes to close out an item that the campuses select. We've also added surveys, and right now 100% of our survey feedback has been very positive for our department. And just very excited about what our team can do with our staff. We have 28 staff members and closing out those over 8,000 in 10 months for that. And this, I wanted to show just some pictures. It's not just maintenance that we do. These are, thank you, Stacy Brown, for Blue Bonnet. With Blue Bonnet comes delivering all of the materials to the campuses. And you can see we have a rotating schedule where we make sure that they get the materials they need. They load up our tractors. Our trucks all work together as a team. This is one of the shipments of Blue Bonnet materials. And it was so much that we couldn't even store it in their storage building. We had to get it sorted and taken out. We had it's nice to be from the curriculum department and now in the role I am. We had a collaboration party of sorting and delivering with both maintenance and curriculum at 7 a.m. one morning, and we got all the items to the campuses that they need as well. We also do a lot of work for behind the scenes for graduation, making sure that our stadium and our fields are ready to be presentable to our public. And a lot of the perks of the job, this was one of my favorite ones, was when we had the helicopter with the HVAC units this summer, replacing those. So along the way, me learning a lot of fun experiences too along the way. This is our athletic grounds, which we have 2 grounds and 1 irrigation specialist. And as you can see, then when anytime something pops up, this was the hole was actually from getting ready for a bike rally that wasn't related to school. They hit a water line. We had to go out and do that. So they keep those 13 fields. They keep our irrigation always looking pristine. Next, we have our grounds staff. And again, I just want to highlight, it's not just the grounds that they're taking care of. They help with the blue bonnet. They help with painting lines in the parking lots. Any other things that pop up that we need, they're there to help. This image also shows that we're at a moderate level of maintenance, a level 4, with the amount of acreage that we take care of. We always just have to kind of plan out where we're going. I set up a calendar for the guys based on if we have a family night at this school, we have a game at this school, and that kind of helps dictate our schedule. Our goal is to get to a level 2 where we have a true rotation, where it's not just having to schedule our support based on high needs of events in our district. And then we have a fabulous general maintenance crew as well. That includes 1 journeyman plumber for the 1.5 million square feet. So he is always everywhere. And they're doing other things as well. One of the pictures is Oakwoods when they had donations for their basketball goals, going in, putting in the cement and putting up those goals as well. And then I have to highlight at the bottom left is me and 2 fabulous gentlemen. This was probably maybe the 2nd week on the job. It was sleeting outside. We had just decided everyone could go home due to their safety, and then the admin had not just a little trickle leak, but a big leak. And we have Jared in the middle, and they were up there showing me in the sleet, in the cold, still having a good time getting the work done, and he was the district employee of the year last year, and that just goes to show his dedication. And then also on the right, we have Chad, who was our heartbeat winner last year too. Again, just said everybody could go home. It's sleeting outside. A leak comes up. They never hesitated. They were in a good mood. They were making sure it was taken care of, and they speak kind of the whole culture of our entire department as well. We also have our HVAC electric crew. We have 2 HVAC techs, 1 HVAC technician, and he's not pictured, but and 1 apprentice electrician that wasn't pictured in this as well. And again, you know our age of our HVAC units and where we are based on our facility assessment discussions, and they are always across the campuses making sure that our HVAC is working. In fact, one of the units went down today on the board meeting. I was like, that's not going to happen, and they were working their magic, and as you can tell, it feels comfortable in the room, and always making sure that our students and our staff feel comfortable in the rooms and the environments. Our next part is our campus budget, a large part, or our district budget. A large part goes to our utilities, pest management also for throughout the district. Our fuel allocation, we have trucks going every direction, just like our transportation department, going from Mambrino and then back to Bacchus and wherever the needs come, and that's for our fuel. Our main part of our budget is our maintenance allocation, which is about $500,000, which goes to everything else. Anytime an HVAC unit breaks, a belt breaks, filters for the classroom, filters for HVAC, just preventative maintenance, anything comes out of that. And so we're always looking at where we can save money, comparing different quotes, pinching every penny to make sure we're able to meet the needs of the district. And then part of the strategic plan was to look at alternative sources of revenue. And we've written a few grants. One, we're rolling out the Safe Cycle 2 grant, working with Wade and his department on that. We've applied for an LED grant as well and hope to hear something in the next month or 2 for that one. We've worked with Diamond Communication as another way to bring in revenue. And I'm working with Mr. Fish and TxDOT to write the grant for Safe Routes to School grant to provide more sidewalks to school. So we're trying to utilize our budget, but also look for other, alternative resources as well. A big push that we have started this summer was our energy conservation. As you can see, bar graph shows our energy usage over the last few years. And so our goal is to have a 5% reduction. And I want to kind of highlight kind of where we are now. Two campuses that look really well are Little Bucks and Mambrino. You can see their decrease from last year to this year of their usage. And a lot of that goes when we invest, and thank you for the investment for our HVAC units. We did a complete overhaul at Little Bucks, and you can tell now their usage is down 50% now that they have the energy efficient HVAC units on their campus. And we had a large portion of units replaced at Mambrino, and you can see that as well. I have about half of our data for October, and we're down 13% right now as a whole for our district as well. A few things that we've done to make sure that we are trending in this direction are joining the TEMA, which is the Energy Management Association, working with other districts, getting ideas. We've started a staggered start time. So on campuses, instead of having all the campus go on at the same time, we know kids come in the cafeteria and offices first, so it's a slow roll of when those items are turned on. We're also adjusting some of our set points. Where can we move it just 1 or 2 degrees, and is it still a comfortable temp to make sure we're saving that money? We've started watchers at 3 of our campus where our students are going around and seeing are the lights turned off when the classes aren't in use, and kind of looking for those opportunities as well. And as Brian had mentioned, we are doing our campus walks, both when schools are in session and outside of time, to see why our different units or things running when the campuses are not in session. So I'm very excited about where we are and where we're going with our energy conservation. And since I am a lifelong learner, I'm always looking at ways to grow our staff as well. I'm very proud of our CTE collaboration, where we had a senior last year work with our lead electrician and got to work on a work order at CTE, adding in new plugs. That was a very exciting opportunity. We are also collaborating with our neighboring districts to learn from them and kind of give us suggestions of what they have done, what works, what doesn't work, maybe things we should try. We hosted the HVAC Fall Symposium last month, where we had other districts come share ideas. We had other vendors share ideas, and just kind of walk away with a better understanding and kind of next steps for our team. I've shared our TEMA, which is our energy management, which we meet monthly with that. And one thing about this group of in the maintenance world is everyone is always so willing to share their ideas. Mansfield, we went to Mansfield and talked to their team. Cleburne has come here and met with my team and shared resources, walkthrough forms, everything. Since Jared's not here, and I love to pick on him, he did attend our TASBO operations conference, and he wanted his first day of school picture as well. And he was so proud. A lot of the members of this department have not had opportunities to go to outside learning opportunities, and you could tell he was very excited, had to send that to his kids and his wife for his first learning opportunity. I tried to tell him he looked like little Sheldon, and he didn't know what that was, but to me, that is exactly who he looks like. Also want to highlight, we have some staff changes over the past year, and this was one of our water leaks at AES. Even though, in the moment you're trying to fix everything, we have some guys that have been here 15 plus years, some that were just onboarded this past year, and they would stop, explain to the newbies kind of the process so that they're actually growing within the department as well. And I love that relationship that we have within our department. For our next steps, as I've shared, we do have a workform platform that's kind of outdated, doesn't always give us the information that we need. And so in December and January, we have a committee that's going to be looking at our different platforms for work orders and facility rentals. In our strategic plan, we're working along with our facility committee. We are trying to complete the 10-year facility plan as well as the asset replacement cycle. I'm really looking forward to doing the work, and it's pretty intense. I'm working alongside Mr. Fish to get the grant for the Safe Routes to School. If you've ever been at the high school at drop-off or dismissal, you know that is needed. And I really want to transition from a reactive to a proactive approach based on the facility assessment and knowing where our facilities are. And I want to continue our collaboration with Todd Gibson and the CTE program. They just started year 1 of a construction program, and so they'll start having internship opportunities in the next 2 years so that we can start having that pipeline from within. Do y'all have any questions or needing me to elaborate on any of the slides?
All right, you ready for me again?
Here we go. What you got?
One, I was going to tell you that my dad is available for your interest in trying to reduce the cost of electricity, because he'll come in and tell you don't touch the thermostat.
And we have part of our schools where Kevin Cummins has the controls of them, and then half of our schools are not up to date that where you still, if you go over break or over holiday and they forget to change it, then you see that energy
Drain.
waste.
Yeah,
yes.
All right.
But hey, tell him to come on.
And your Scott, by the way, is only retiring, so you can still call on him and he'll tell you where the water lines are.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that idea with the watchers, having the kids on campus take responsibility of their campus, their school, and making sure that everyone's doing their part.
Their
So-
part.
Hundreds. I was going to say that too. You got hundreds of kids. Let's employ
Yeah.
them. Go.
Well,
You
that's
guys
what she
go to work.
said. They got the watchers on campus.
Yes.
so-
Some of
great
them
labor.
have used their ambassador programs. I piloted it this year. We have 3 youth that have piloted it so we can work it out. Then also those campus leaders will also be able to come back and share that experience so that more will join next year. I just knew with the Blue Bonnet curriculum changes with the campus, I did not want to add on one more thing unless they were ready to tackle something that they already felt they could bring in.
And I'll give you praise too, and you about having the proactive approach to an asset replacement life cycle program. I like that.
I'm very eager to look at that. Dr. Morawski's also given me some examples to kind of work through things to see what needs to be included on that, and then coming back to my team and seeing where are we and what are our next steps on that.
Yeah, good. Thank you.
Those of us that have been here for a while used to leave our rooms and come back and find a note from Larry Anderson that said, surprise, you left your light on, or I caught you, or something like that. So we learned early on that Larry could come back and find that we made a mistake. But I think that's a great idea for the kids to help remind the teacher
Teachers
to,
as well.
to help.
Thank you very
help.
much.
And also, I thought it was really good that you were the only woman in that picture. With
I know,
all
I
those
noticed
guys.
that.
But thank you for all you do.
Thank you so much.
Hey, you know that I worked for 5 years for Goodyear Tire and Rubber, and I tried like crazy to get on that blimp. See if you can get a helicopter ride out of that.
We didn't get to ride on the helicopter, but we did get to watch that process, and it was very just once they land, they have to take everything off of the helicopter because of the weight. They take out most of the gas and everything else so that they could have the capacity to pull those HVAC units. So that's what I love about this job, because each day is new. Each job is something I haven't experienced, and it's always rewarding.
That
So
may be why they didn't let me on the blimp, because I exceed the weight.
I'm not going to comment on that.
Well, thank you. Thank you for everything you and your department do to keep us up and running and make sure that we have safe buildings for our kids, and identifying those items that need to be addressed immediately and emergency items like.
Thank you for that. We were texting after y'all approved that, and we're very thankful for y'all's support so we can move ahead on that as well.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate y'all. All right, next up is the update on the 2023-2024 TEA Foundation Settle Up. Mr. Emmett Whitefield.
Thank you, Madam President. Board in front of you do have a timeline of the settle up on the $16.8 million that we've had since March of 2025. That was in response to the property audit value that the district did file in April of 2024. At that point, when we received the notification in November 24, I expected about $1.6 million, or we did receive the $16.8 million. When it was all said and done, it would come out to be about 1.7 through the timeline. We received in October a notice that we had settled up for recapture of about $1,100. So that prompted me to go look at my foundation settle up. And when I did, they had done a DPV property value study, which is our district property value study. And when they did that, they did find their T-value mistake, and they settled it up. And they said that we basically owed them back $15.1 million. So I sent an email to Kim Wall, who's the financial analyst at TEA, And she said it would be moved into our 25-26 state payments on our FSP payment schedule there. Well, I looked at that. They've already paid us quite a bit of money for our state funding already. So it just shows us having a negative balance there. At that time, it was 10.7, and it's still right about there. It's about $1,000 off. As of today, it was about $10,798,000. So I think this is going to carry forward until they get it through. So basically, that money is going to sit there, and it's going to be basically, we're going to use some of it this year for our funding, and we're going to use some of it next year for our funding. So it's not extra money. It's going to be our funding for this year and some of our funding for next year. So I'm glad we didn't go out and spend that money.
That was the right decision. Otherwise, we would be.
And to this point,
Yes.
having that money in the bank, we've gained right at about $270,000 in interest on it.
And so, but they're not really taking the money. We're not sending the $15.1 million back to them. We still get to hold on to it. They
Right.
chip away at what they
Right.
owe us in coming years. So we get to even gain
Yes, sir.
more in the months ahead.
Yeah.
That is
Maybe
correct.
even years ahead.
That is correct. And it'll settle up next year.
Yeah.
I mean, and that number will fluctuate this year, and it won't be the $10 million. It'll be a little bit less than that probably, but
But
it'll
we're
just roll
still
over.
picking up interest on money we're holding
Yes,
on
sir.
to on behalf
Yes,
of the
sir.
state.
We're getting the interest and they're not.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
We might be able to buy a couple more buses out of that.
At least one or two.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or a helicopter ride.
A helicopter ride.
Well, I appreciate your stewardship in making sure that we stay fiscally responsible and take the safe path when it comes to that money, especially when we weren't sure what was going to happen, if we were going to have to pay it back or we were going to get to keep it. So definitely appreciated your advice and insight there and absolutely made the right decision. So thank you. Appreciate your stewardship and fiscally responsible practices for our school district and taxpayer dollars.
Thanks for keeping the reins on Morosky because she wanted to spend it.
did. I'm going to spend it all.
All right, moving on to financial statements for period ending October 31st, 2025. Mr. Emmett Whitefield.
Thank you, ma'am. Board, in front of you do have the financials for a period ending October 31st. These are the transactions between September 1st, 2025 and October 31st, 2025. It reflects revenue collected to date equals 20.55% of the budget as compared to last year at 9.38% in 24-25. And expenditures to date are 19.07% of the budget compared to 20.51% in 24-25. There's nothing really outstanding there except for that state funding. It has a little bit to do with that $16.8 million that's in there. And we're just going to kind of ride that out for a little while until it kind of starts to level out a little bit, and then we'll kind of amend that out to show where we're at in that. So nothing really outstanding on the financials, but I can answer anything that you may have about, any questions you may have about that.
Okay, no questions. Moving on to item F, cash flow and investment report for period ending October 31st, 2025. Mr. Emmett Whitefield.
Yes, ma'am. In front of you, you do have your cash flow and your investment report. And then as of October, we gained $216,250 in interest. This time last year, we had about $138,758. You can attribute some of that interest revenue to that $16.8 million that's still hanging out in there. We have currently, for this fiscal year, we're at about $423,000 in interest gain, and last year we were at $293,000. And that is your cash flow and investment report for the month of October 31st.
Thank you, Mr. Whitefield. Next is procurement calendar update. Mr. Whitefield.
Yes, ma'am. In front of you, board, you do have the purchasing calendar. These are things that are be coming up. You did approve the amending into fund balance for the HVAC system, which was committed in the audit, which you will see at December's board meeting whenever they present the audit and that. The HVAC bid system is going to be coming out. That will be 43 additional units at Mambrino and one non-functional unit at AMS is what she's had presented. And that will be what they're going out for bid for. There's also a dual credit program that they're currently in the process of evaluating. I believe that has come in, and they're doing the evaluation process right now. And they will be putting out a fuel supply bid. That has not been gone out yet, but when it comes in, it will be a cost plus bid, and so we'll see how that kind of lands. And that's the procurement calendar, and that's what is coming up in future months. If there's any questions about that, Mr. Robbie's left, but I could answer any questions.
And $100,000 in plumbing.
Yeah, that too.
Yes, sir. And that is within the budget already for repairs.
Yeah. Okay, moving on to categorical spending report. Mr. Whitefield.
Yes, ma'am. Board policy does allow us to make purchases between $50,000 and $100,000, as long as it's within a approved procurement process that the board has approved. And the one you do have for the month of October is for curriculum and associates through the BI board. It's for iReady Toolbox and iReady Partner Services license renewal, and it's for $63,406.13. And that is just information for you that was purchased through the BI board. And that is the report on categorical spending.
Any questions? All right, thank you, Mr. Whitefield. Without any further business, the time is now 7:45 PM and this meeting is adjourned.